new S25 Ultra from Itel, which happens to be the very first Itel phone that I am reviewing on this channel. And this is not because it is anything special or anything mind-blowing, but because I am big on, if you're going to try to replicate or copy something, then you should be able to add your style and uniqueness to make your own version significantly better. So, does the new Itel S25 Ultra has all the outstanding features that will make you consider using it as your main device or daily driver? Let's find out. For this particular review, I am straight up just going to state the impressive features or specs of the S25 Ultra from Itel and the dead pans and flops of these devices. And lastly, I'm going to point out the few things I think Itel should have worked on to better improve these devices. So, since I'm not the bearer of bad news, I'm going to start with the impressive features first. Aside from the fact that Itel has managed to keep this device very slim by making it 6.9 millimeters thick in size, the display of the S25 Ultra is one of the impressive things on this device considering its price range. You get a curved display with 6.7 inches screen size with AMOLED panel protected by the Corning Gorilla Glass 7i against drop, dents and scratches. You also get up to 1080 by 2436 resolution and 120 Hz of refresh rate for vibrant and smooth scrolling. And you also get an in-display fingerprint to unlock this device. With the 1400 nits of brightness available, you won't have problems using this device outdoors, especially when it's sunny. Another impressive thing about this device is the designated IP64 rating for dust and water resistance that further takes the protection a notch higher aside from the Corning Gorilla Glass 7i. So even if your hands or the device is wet and greasy, the screen will still be very much responsive when you try to use it. You get some AI features like the wallpaper generator and AI noise cancellation that works when you're on call to cancel ambient noise, and an AI assistant. You also get an always-on display which further elevates the display aesthetics of this device. Although this is no surprise at all. I mean, at this point, every smartphone should be able to have these features, right? Another useful feature you get in the Itel S25 Ultra is the IR blasters to control your electronic devices. And that is that for the impressive part of this device. Now, coming down to the point where I think that this device is a total flop for a smartphone is that first, as if it wasn't enough that Itel tried to make this look like a Samsung phone, it is obviously not. A lot of things are missing on this device and a lot of things are not just feeling right. Itel removed the headphone jack from this phone and gave it a single down firing bad sounding mono speaker that completely lacks bass. I feel like giving this device a dual stereo speaker would have been a lot better. But what bothers me most is Itel's choice of processor in this device. The Unisoc T620 12nm processor. It sounds like a joke and more like a processor we get on a less than $100 smartphone, but in this case, we're getting it in a $150 smartphone. I mean, make it make sense to me, Itel. The Helio G99 or the Helio G100 processor would have been a better fit for this smartphone, considering that this is supposed to be one of Itel's pro devices. But why does it have to look like a child's play? As an average user, you might not encounter a lot of problems since all you'll be doing is just surfing through the internet, scrolling through social media, texting, and doing very light stuff. But where it gets really funny is where you put this phone to demanding tasks like playing games on it. You definitely experience lagging, slow performances, and even overheating, which is quite expected from a 12nm chip processor. But who still uses 12nm chips in smartphones in the 21st century? It gets even more tricky in their software updates. Straight out of the box, the device comes with Android 14 and Itel OS 14.5. But down here in the device pack, Itel promised up to 2 years major Android upgrades. That means that we're supposed to get up to Android 16 on the S25 Ultra. But on their official website, they said that the software is only upgradable to Android 15 alone. I don't know what tricks Itel are playing, but what do you think Itel is cooking? The Itel S25 Ultra comes with a 5000 milliamp hour battery capacity, which supports only 18 watts of charging, which is quite poor because that means to be able to get this device from 0 to 100%, you should be looking at charging it for around 3 hours. I mean, who has 3 hours to charge just a single smartphone? Itel, you could definitely do better than this. For storage, you get 8 GB of RAM, which can be extended by an extra 8 GB to make it 16 GB of RAM, and 128 GB to up to 512 GB of memory storage, which is quite a lot and can even be expanded, all thanks to the SIM tray that supports both dual SIM with an external storage card. For those of you wondering, the storage is UFS 2.2 powered. Now over to the camera where the whole wannabe Samsung vibe is going on, although this feels nothing like the Samsung phone it is trying to look like. First, you have the 50 megapixel main camera, a macro lens which is not specified, an RGB ring light as Itel call it, which can be customized for other applications. You also get an auxiliary lens and an LED flash to capture good night photographs. Smart HDR is also supported to enhance your photo quality. Video recording supports up to 2K at 30 frames per second with no stabilization at all. So yeah, what do I think about this device? Well, the Itel S25 Ultra might not have ticked all of the right boxes expected from a budget phone of this price category. I mean, there are other competing brands producing devices that performs way better and gives way better quality than this one, and still selling for the price that the Itel S25 Ultra is selling for. But as an Itel device, I mean, you and I can say that this device tried. I mean, the display is good, although it has some flops like the bad processor, the 18-watt charging, and all of that. But as a side device, this will work for me. I will use this device. But as a main device or a daily driver, this is definitely a no-no for me. But I think it's all about choice. What about you? Would you use this device as a side device or you'd consider using it as a main device? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to help us grow. And that being said, until the next one, bye for now.